guys, this is Charlie from Friends with Charlie and welcome back to the review circle. Now I know Cats was going to be what I was going to do next. If you were guessing what it was last month, but because I was like, today's going to be like the day of the 20th anniversary of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, I think I'll just review that movie instead. Whilst all the Fat Controller's away on important business holiday, day business, Mr. Conductor from Shining Time comes over to look after the island of Solo, but he's come at the wrong time for two reasons. One, his gold dust is fading, which is his transport from Shining Time and back, and the other, but a big diesel engine named Diesel 10 with a claw named Pinchy and Health Central Splatter and Dodge are coming over to help. Find the magic engine known as Lady, who was Brunette Stone's old engine. With the help of Brunette's granddaughter Lily, Thomas and Mr. Conductor must find more gold dust and stop Diesel 10. So let's just talk about for a moment what this movie could have been like before. This movie was originally gonna have P.T. Boomer, like so many others. But because everything was changed in the movie, what we were left with is a messy and confusing first film for Thomas. Now, what you can find on the extended cut on YouTube, what I'll be talking about, of course, is the theatre act. And what we get is one messy movie, especially with its characters. Now, the features to its main characters are mainly just Thomas and newbies that we are introduced to. So Thomas, of course, he has to be the main character since it's called Thomas and the Magic Railroad. But the big problem with him is that don't give him enough screen time. Mr. Conductor can be this thing where he seems like an interesting character where he's going through a time in life after everything was going his way, but then it started to go down. Lily's the little girl who joins Thomas in order to save Shining Time. Ginny is Mr. Conductor's cousin. Brunette Stone is the man with the dark past. Lady is the magic engine everyone keeps talking about. And then there's the villain of the future, Diesel 10, who was actually the best part of this movie. In fact, I really do think that Diesel 10 is the best character and one of the best villains Thomas and some friends ever had. He's so threatening and terrifying. And the voice he's given is amazing with the help of his henchmen, Splatter and Dodge, or as he calls them both together, Splodge. In fact, the actors did an alright job. I know some people complain about the actors, but I don't mind them. They're okay. Next is the story. Ooh, they really messed it up. Now, I'm not saying everything in this story is awful. In fact, the idea of it is there. But it is kind of confusing. You see, this is half both a Shining Time movie, Time Station movie, and a Thomas and Friends movie. The fans of Thomas will get most who live in the UK will get most of the Thomas stuff, but if you live in the US, then anyone that lives in the UK and the fans of Thomas, they won't get much that's going on. What we got is really confusing. Like, what's happening? I need an adult. How can I understand this? But there is one big thing I do like about this movie, and that is its world building idea. It tries to expand on both a Solo and Shining Time in one movie. In a way, it does fail, but what it tries to do is kind of promising. Like, there is some hope for the future. Sure, it seems like. Unfortunately, there isn't much left that the story does offer. And it is very disappointing. And then there's the visuals and model work. Well, it's actually pretty fitting. Okay, the way this movie has to work is to make sure that live action characters fit into the modeled world of Thomas and his friends. And they pull it off perfectly. It's like real environments, and you're just putting your model trains on, making them real just with faces. It does actually work. It's really fun and enjoyable in my opinion, and sometimes it can get nice chills, which helps with some of the action scenes, like the chase scene at the end. And with Lady Thomas and Diesel's 10 Renette Stone. To some of the visual locations like the viaduct. Before I do give my thoughts on this movie, I'd like to make two things clear. One, how do I feel about the train's mouths not moving when they can talk? Well, I know some people find that as a criticism, but let's remember that the fact are 11 and kind of 12 seasons had none of the engines' mouths moving. So I can't really complain there. Of course, it'd be better if it was CGI, but that's just me. Second, the score of the movie is actually really well done. It definitely does offer a nice balance for the film. So overall, what it could have been is something like amazing, a great start to Thomas films, but all we get is something that's easily forgettable. Thomas and the Magic Railroad. It's not the Thomas movie movies on anything but a high note. While the visuals and model work well together, and there are a bit of good elements here and there, I just can't stop thinking that now that we got the director's cut, what the movie could have been, resulting in its weak and uninteresting writing, characters that are pretty boring, and a lot of confusing stories depending what country you're from. At most, I'd recommend this to either this for from a recommendation. If you're a fan of both Thomas and Shining Time, you'll probably get what's going on in this movie. If not, well, the director's cut is on YouTube. That's what the movie could have been. Just watch the director's cut instead. As for the rating, I'm sad to give this to a Thomas movie, but I'm giving the Magic Railroad a 5 out of 10. Not a terrible movie, but it really is a big disappointment. So what am I going to do in the next episode of the Review Circle? Well, Disney did make 2 great animated films. Also in 2016, people do say Zootropolis. But the next one, it's time to see how far they'll go. See you later, folks.